Hello and welcome. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Chanel summer collection. So I purchased all three of the new Duo de Baumes. So this is a blush and highlight stick duo. I also have three of the four Stylos. I did try to get the Mauvey Brown, which was the one I wanted the most. And unfortunately, didn't come in my order, and then I wasn't able to get it afterwards. And then we also have the two new shades of, these are the Rouge Coco Baume Shines. So I actually have both shades mixed on my lips right now. So let's go ahead. We're going to go ahead and get started, and we're going to start with the Stylos. So right now, this collection is available in boutiques. It's selling out quickly though, so you might want to wait until it goes online, which will be in the middle of June. So you've got plenty of time to kind of look around and decide what you want to get. And so we have four Stylos. The fourth one is Mauvey Brown, which again is the one that I do not have. But we have here Baby Yellow, which is going to be number, I want to say, it says 64. So they do have the name here on the side, but the number's on the bottom. So if you're not familiar with the Stylo Ombre Contour, you can use these as eyeshadow, eyeliner, whatever. And I personally really love this formula. So this one here is going to be our Baby Yellow. And you can see this is going to be a soft yellowish gold. Just one sheer layer you can see is going to be pretty light. This makes a really nice accent color for the inner corner, or I have it on the lower lash line right now. Next up, 66. This is going to be Sweet Pink. And this one here, let's see if you can see it here. This is going to be a soft, light pink. And this is going to be a cool tone pink. So you can see we've got a little bit of a blue base in there. And this one, it's got a soft metallic finish to it, but the Baby Yellow has more of a shimmery finish. So just something to note there that's different. And then in a matte finish here, we have the Peachy Beige, which is number 70 here. So here's Peachy Beige, and you can see this one's going to be significantly more pigmented. And Peachy Beige is a great description for this. This is going to be warm, really is a true Peachy Beige. So these are the three shades of the Stylo I have. Let's take a look at these on the eyes. And we started off with some eye swatches here where you can see each shade individually. You can see that the yellow and the pink are very light. These are best, in my opinion, if you want, you know, a very light eye look where you're not seeing a lot of shadow, you know, maybe you're accenting an eyeliner, or you can use these as a brightening eyeliner or inner corner color. So that's my favorite way for using the pink and the yellow here. And the beigey peach or Peachy Beige, this one here is a great all over color. It's a really nice light natural shade that blends out beautifully and gives you just kind of like a great everyday look. So this is a really nice base. You can mix and match this with other shadows, you know, powder shadows and things as well. So just a few product details here. We have 0.8 grams of product and 18-month shelf life. These are made in Italy and they retail for $42 US. These are going to be limited edition shades here for the summer collection. Now just a few details from Chanel. This easy to apply 3-in-1 eye pen features a long wearing formula and can be used as an eyeshadow, eyeliner, or kohl for a variety of lasting looks. Designed with a creamy, blendable texture, the medium-thick tip delivers intense color and allows for a range of smooth and even application techniques. So I personally love the Stylo Ombre Contours. I've used these for years. It's a nice creamy formula that is very easy to blend out, but then it will set and stay pretty much all day. They're very nice as an eye crayon, minimal creasing by the end of the day. They also work really well as an eyeliner. Those are my two personal ways that I like to use these. Now, sometimes in the past, some of the Stylo Ombre Contours, when you blend them out, you get kind of this warm, orangey-ish base that kind of shows up. That I haven't seen with any of these three shades here. So just something to note if that has been an issue for you in the past. Haven't noticed it with these new shades yet. I do want to know if you're using these as an eyeshadow and you want to blend these out with a brush, these are creamy enough that they will blend out with a brush. And let's take a look at these shades one more time before we move on to the cheek duos. So here we have our Peachy Beige. This one here is our Sweet Pink. And then we have our baby yellow. And I did just want to do one quick comparison. This is the shade Celestial Pink that came out a few years back. I just wanted to see how this one compared to our pink. You can see that the sweet pink is, you know, it's more matte in comparison. It actually has a soft metallic finish, whereas the Celestial Pink is going to be a warmer, more of a rose gold shade that is more shimmery like the baby yellow. So hopefully that was helpful there. Let's go ahead and we're going to move on to the cheek duos. So Chanel has a new product this summer. We have the Duo de Baume, and these are going to have a blush and a highlighter on each end. There are 3 color stories here. So we start off with Pure Glow, and I'm using this stick right now. You can see this is going to be a very luminous blush in terms of shine. It's not glittery. The highlight shades do have shimmer in them, but the blush shades do not, but they do have a high shine finish. So you can see we kind of start off with more of a soft pinky coral here. And this, it looks lavender. On the skin, it really comes out to be more of a translucent shade with a little bit of a cooler glint to it, but you don't see purple per se. Our next shade up is going to be the shade Gentle Glow. So this one here, we've got another kind of coral shade, but you can see this one's going to be a bit peachier. It's also going to be more pigmented shade. And then our shade here looks a bit more like a dusty rose, translucent shade. So you can see there's a little bit of a dusty rose hue to that. So this is going to be a bit more pigmented overall than what we saw with Pure Glow. Our third shade here is Intense Glow. And, you know, from here, it looks kind of like it's going to be a brick red and gold. It's not. It's going to be a berry shade here. Look at this beautiful fuchsia berry, beautiful cool tone berry shade. And then we have a soft pale gold for our shimmer here. And you can see, we definitely see a bit of the yellow in that gold there. I personally really love the combination of the blush from Intense Glow and the highlight from the Pure Glow. That is one of my personal favorite combinations. So let's take a look at these on the cheeks. And for the demos here, I wanted to apply the blush and the highlighter separately, so you can see the colors on their own in case you are interested in mixing and matching, and you can really see exactly what you're getting with these products here. Now, as for a few product details here, we have 9 grams of product for each of the duos and 18 months shelf life, and these are made in Italy. They retail for $68 US. And again, we do have 3 distinct sticks. These duos can be used on the cheeks or the lips, so you can definitely use these shades as lipstick or lip balm as well. You can see that they all have this glassy finish to them. They're going to be a high shine finish. The highlighter has a bit of shimmer in it. It's very finely milled. The blush does not, but it does have that high shine finish to it. And these are going to have a little bit of a dewy, tacky finish to them. If you're familiar with the Baume Essentiel sticks from Chanel, we're going to take a look at some of those as well so you can see how they compare. But this is kind of, it's similar to some of those. So some of the ones we've seen over the years have been very, very glassy. These would be comparable to those glassier versions. We've seen some that are a little bit more metallic and subdued in the past. These are definitely going to be more of that high shine one that we see most of the time with the Baume Essentiel sticks. And the finish on the skin is going to be very, very similar. They're essentially the same. So let's take a look at those duos again and take a look at some comparisons. All right, so just to review, we've got Pure Glow, Gentle Glow, and Intense Glow. We're going to start off with some comparisons of the Chanel Baume Essentiel, and we're going to start off with the shade Lila. So here's Lila. You can see right off the bat that it's going to look a little bit more a little bit more blue based and just yeah, you can see a little bit more purple in that in comparison. You can also see that this one here isn't as shimmery as what we have in the new one. So the color is going to be a little bit different from Lila. On the skin though, I do feel like all of these look, well, not all of them, but a lot of them look pretty similar. This one here is the shade Cute. This is one that just recently came out. It's a soft, cool pink. You can see it's definitely going to be brighter and cooler than what we have in the Gentle Glow. This one here is Ensoleil. And you can see this one here is more pigmented. It's got a bit more of a metallic finish, metallic shimmery finish. And this one here is actually more similar in color to one of the blushes than the other highlighter shades. And then the last one here is Moonlight Kiss, which I wanted to see how this compared to the gold. You can see it's going to be peachier. It's more of a soft peach. So you can see that finish-wise, the Baume Essentiel sticks are going to be essentially the same as what we're getting in the Duo de Baume. It all depends a little bit on color and so forth. Now for the blushes, you know, Chanel doesn't really have any stick blushes like that, but they did make me think of the number 1 de Chanel blushes. So we're going to take a look at some of these. We're going to start off with this one here, which is number 2, Healthy Pink. And, you know, I don't see any shades that are exactly the same as what we have here, but the big thing is our finish is going to look very similar on the skin. I would say there's a bit more oil in the Baume formula. This feels a little bit more like the Baume Essentiel sticks in general, whereas the Chanel, they've got, or the number 1 de Chanel blushes have a little bit more of a tacky, glossy finish to them. Another one I wanted to take a look at here is going to be number 5, Lively Rosewood. This one here is one of my personal favorites. Want to see how that compares. Very different there. This one here is number 4, Wake Up Pink. And it looks like a peachy shade, but this is actually, I mean, it is a peachy shade, but it's very beautiful on the skin. It really does just kind of freshen things up. And you can see that's going to be closest to the Gentle Glow, but we actually have a little bit more, there's a little bit more peach in the in the Wake Up Pink rather, versus the Gentle Glow, which has just a little bit more pink, a little more coral. And then the last one I want to compare here is Purple Energy, which is number 9. And I wanted to see how that compared to our berry shade in the Intense. You can see that this is going to be more purple, less of that fuchsia pink. So I hope those were helpful. Let's go ahead and move on to the Coco Shine lip balms. Let's start straight off with the demos here for the lip products. And these are the Chanel Rouge Coco Baume Shine lipsticks. Chanel also has a matte lip balm called just the Rouge Coco Baume. So just to note that these are going to be our shine version, which personally is my preference between the two formulas. The matte are just a little bit dry when you wear them repeatedly. The lip balms that are more matte from Chanel are actually described as having a satin finish, but it's definitely more matte than a true satin in my opinion. But the shine have that nice, more of like an oil gloss finish to them. And again, we do have a bit of sheen here. Now we do have 2 shades, and the first shade here, 772 Sparkling Pink, is going to have some shimmer in here. It's going to be a very light translucent pink. And then 774 Electric Vibe. This is not a shimmery shade per se, but this is going to be a nice, you know, kind of like a cool raspberry red. So these retail for $50 US. We have 3 grams of product, an 18-month shelf life, and these are made in France. As for the Rouge Coco Baume Shines, these tinted lip balms are desirable as a lipstick, presented in a finish with amplified brilliance. Housed in a white and golden case with a transparent cap, the Rouge Coco Baume Shine offers buildable coverage for customized results, from a sheer wash of color after a single coat to richly pigmented after 3 swipes. We have an oil derived from olive fruit and leaves, which provides antioxidant properties, while shea butter nourishes. A Hydro Boost complex helps keep lips moisturized and soft both immediately and over time. So let's take a look at the new shades, and then I do have a few comparisons as well. So first up, we have 772, which is going to be our sparkling pink. And this one here you can see is going to be a sheer shimmery pale cool pink. Put one there. You can see this is a really pretty shade just to, you know, use as a topper on its own for something a little different. But my favorite here is 774 Electric Vibe. So right now on my lips, I have a mix of the two of these. You can see this is a really beautiful, kind of like a cool tone raspberry pink with a touch of red in there. Really beautiful, like a true crushed raspberry. So those are our two new shades, and I did want to make a few comparisons with some previous shades. So we've got a few of the Coco Baume shines. This one here is 756 Cherry Blast. You can see this one here is going to be a soft cherry red, and it's going to be more neutral. It still leans a little cool. And then another one we have is 762 Raspberry Kiss. And I wanted to see how much these compare because they both kind of have that raspberry pink hue. We have a little bit more pink in the Raspberry Kiss shade, but they're pretty close still. So I think they are pretty close. And you can see we've got this translucent cap or transparent cap there, whereas the satin or matte version has an opaque cap. So that's just something to note there. And then the last one of the shines I wanted to compare is 758 Blushing Pink. So this is going to be a cool tone pink. And I wanted to show you how much more pigmented this is compared to our sparkling pink. And then we have a few of the matte or satin ones that I wanted to look at. We have 928 Pink Delight. Let's put this up here. And you can see this is going to be more of a soft peachy pink. Again, our finish is going to be pretty different with this one. And then 922 Passion Pink. I want to see how this one compares. And again, this is going to be pretty close to the Electric Vibe. It's got, yeah, they're very, very close. You know, it's hard to say. It might have slightly more pink, but they're so close. I don't think it's a big enough difference. 920 In Love is the last one I wanted to compare, and this is more of a soft neutral red. You can see this is more similar to the Cherry Blast shade in the shine. So those are some comparisons here. Overall, some beautiful shades. I love the Electric Vibe, but we do have some similar shades in the permanent line if you have any of those. But I do think that these are some new great additions here. So let's just sum up everything we looked at here today. And some other items in the collection I did not pick up. There is a new mascara, some nail polish, and so forth. But I did get the majority of the collection here. I got 3 of the 4 Stylos. Again, I'd love to get my hands on the Mauvey Brown, and when that goes online, I may end up picking that one up. And then we had the 3 Duo de Baumes and the 2 Rouge Coco Baume shines. Overall, I'm happy with everything in this collection, but if I had to be a bit more discerning, I would say that, you know, your Stylos here, if you love a nice, light, everyday, easy look, these are a great addition. Really though, the peachy beige is the one that's going to make the biggest difference. The sweet pink and the baby yellow are really just more like lightening, brightening. They're not going to make a huge difference, in my opinion, on their own. And I do feel like all of these shades are things that are pretty common to collections. So you may already have these shades in some other formulas and finishes. Overall though, I'm very happy with them. They're just a nice, easy, everyday thing to grab, but it's also not something, wow, totally unique, never seen that before. The Duo de Baumes though are a brand new product for Chanel. And you know, I don't always love a very dewy blush, but these, I don't know, I do actually really like these duos. I think these are a nice, shiny, you know, blush and highlight product. It's a great thing to travel with. I really like the color combinations that they came up with. You know, I wouldn't say they're necessarily super unique, but I was surprised that the Intense was more of a berry versus a brick red, like it looks like on here. And overall, I think all of the shades really complemented each other well, and they mix and match well. I was happy to see that the highlighters, you know, they are still light and sheer enough that, you know, any of these can be used on different skin tones, you know, so they're pretty versatile the way they are. So I have to say, you know, these are the winner product in my opinion from this collection. And I don't know if I had to pick one, you know, for my complexion, I'd probably go with the Pure Glow just because this is probably going to be the easiest to use. But my favorite combination really is the blush from the Intense and the highlighter from the Pure. So, you know, if I had to rank them, it would definitely be Pure, Intense, and then Gentle. So really happy with these sticks. I'd love to see more like these in the future. As for the Rouge Coco Baume shines, I think these are some really great shades. I'm very happy with them. I love the formula for these. You know, these are a product that I use all the time. I actually keep one of the regular lip balms, just the clear one here, and I put this on, you know, like every day. So they're definitely something that I continue to use over the years. So really happy to see these new shades. And although I have to say I didn't realize Electric Vibe was going to be so close to some of the previous ones, but still, you know, it's a favorite shade. So overall, I'm very happy with the collection. No, none of the products here are something like, wow, amazing, I've never seen that before. But the Duo de Balm sticks, you know, those are new to Chanel. I think they are a really nice product. You know, overall, I think this is a really nice, safe collection, and it's a great everyday collection as well. So happy to see these for the summer. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope this has been helpful. Again, currently the items are available in boutiques. Things have been selling out though, so it can be hard to find what you're looking for, but we will see the official launch, you know, online and so forth in the middle of June. So thank you so much for tuning in. I hope this has been helpful. I'll see you very soon, and thank you for watching.